And welcome back to After Dark. Well, we are backstage at the moment with a band that I'm sure you've all heard by now. We're backstage with Alienist, who of course are just about to kick off their love-hate tour around Australia. So guys, welcome to Melbourne.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
it is cold.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So guys, do a little intro for our listeners out there. Tell us a little bit about yourselves and what your role is in the band.
My name's Damon. I play guitar and I do the clean singing, or the la-las.
Yep.
Chris?
And I am Chris, and I play the bass guitar in Alienist and the big slappy boy.
So guys, this tour, the last 12 months have been absolutely huge for you guys. Signed to a label, the EP comes out, you're getting radio play everywhere. Tell us a little bit about what it's been like being part of the band over the last 12 months.
Non-stop. We at the second that the label we announced that we were signed to UNFD, it has literally been work. We've already started working on new music, and we've been working on playing shows as much as we can. We just got back from an emo night run for AM/PM, and now we're starting our headline tour across Australia. And then after that, I guess everyone will have to see what's next.
Yep.
Sounds pretty hectic, actually. I was actually just reading up a bit of your background. You started as a cover band, right?
Yeah.
Was that all you guys currently were in that, or?
There was one other person, and then we ended up getting Lachlan the Screamer in to do the original stuff. So initially there was another member, and yeah, we were just doing it for fun. And then we sort of made the decision we want to do originals, and now it's somehow turned into this whole thing. We didn't really expect it to go this far, but now it's the dream. There's nothing else we want to be doing.
Yeah.
I think I read somewhere. Did you sort of give up on the music for a little while and then come back to it?
I did,
what was
yeah.
that story? How did you get back into it?
I, after high school, I did a lot of music stuff during high school, and then, it's sort of like everybody. They graduate, they go find a real job, and eventually I just sold my gear and stopped playing music. And then Jake, the drummer, reached out and said that these guys were looking to make just a cover band and have fun with it. And it pulled me out of my shell a little bit. And thank God that happened, because, yeah, it felt like I was hiding what I was meant to be doing.
Yeah.
And then, ever since then, we've been writing and doing everything non-stop. It's been crazy.
So how did that feel then when you first started doing original music? And because the music is so personal as well, like if you listen to tracks like Godless, it's so personal. What was that like when you found yourself going back and writing original music again?
Cathartic and refreshing. When it comes to writing music that's so personal to you, I think I just wanted to make sure that it was an opportunity for me to let out some undisclosed emotions, and it was the best outlet for that. I had never really written original music before, so it was definitely a long process learning how to write music. Chris has been with me and my partner in crime in that the whole time. And if anybody here could hear the initial demos we did when we first started, they would be very embarrassing, and the songs were not personal, and we didn't really know how to approach it. But I think as time goes on and the more you do it, you eventually start letting your soul go into the music a little bit more and more. And the best things that you can write about are your own personal experiences. So.
Yeah, I was really interested in that as well. I just heard 2 of your songs before coming here, and I was just partway through the first verse of, I think it was Hypnotize actually, and I was like, oh, what am I hearing there? So I went and pulled up the lyrics as it was going, and I'm like, okay, this is really interesting stuff. So all the tracks on your album you've written, and how did you pull upon that? How did you find, the ability to open up like that?
I feel like I've always kind of been an open person to an extent, but being vulnerable like that definitely took some getting used to. I don't know. I thought, if I'm going through things like that, if there are things in my life that I'm struggling with, then I'm sure there are other people that are going to relate.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to I didn't want to be one of those bands that just, I don't know, tell some random story about some hypothetical situation that you can't relate to. I feel like you always know when a vocalist or when a singer is speaking from the heart. So yeah, it was a very cathartic experience. And when it comes to writing, it's just we figure out what sort of topic or context would work best with that specific instrumental, because we usually do instrumentals first, and then we go from there.
And Chris, for you, what's that experience been like working with Damon with original songs that are so personal as well?
Yeah, so we like with a lot of the lyrics. So Damon will do a lot of the lyrics in the songs. I've had my moments with a couple of them. I'm glad that he gets to have like this experience to really put it out there, because I can see that it's actually helped him a lot as well. When it actually comes to the songwriting, what I do a lot of is I've got to
He's the asshole.
Yeah, I critique everything definitely. Make sure it's up to par, I guess.
He's like the one I go to when it's like, is this any good?
Yeah.
Because he's got a really good way of knowing if an audience is going to resonate with a song,
Yeah.
like vocally or instrumentally.
But that's actually good, because otherwise, like, if you just surround yourself with yes people, you can be releasing shit, not even realizing that it's shit. So
Exactly.
yeah.
We hold ourselves to a really high standard, and we're so critical. We have scrapped how many songs?
A lot. A lot.
Yeah.
It's but I think another thing that I like one thing I'm pretty good at with writing the music is coming up with concepts with songs as well.
Yep.
Yeah, so like I'll really sit there and sort of think, all right, well, for an example, with Prisoner of You, I came up with a concept of it, and then we both sat down and Damon done a lot of the lyrics, but I came up with this like concept with
With feeling trapped and feeling like you're stuck in a situation, and also exploring abuse. Both Chris and I had known a lot of people and experienced situations like that where they were being put through abuse, whether it was physical or mental, in relationships or family or anything like that. So that was just something that we initially wanted to explore, and then we figured out the lyrics from there.
Yeah.
Have you had a lot of people come up to you since the EP's come out as well and said, like, yeah, I've been through that, or that song sums up what I went through?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I find that a lot of people resonate with Absent a lot, because that song's just about the breakdown of a relationship and someone not being the one. And I feel like pretty much most people can relate to that. And relationships are always difficult. And when you feel like you're going through this hellish situation where you have to end something that means everything to you, a lot of people need to hear that other people go through the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that also hit me when I first listened to the EP is you guys have got such a unique sound. Like you hear a lot of bands coming through and it's like, yeah, this is just a copy of North Lane, or this is just a copy of Thy Art. Like, but with you guys, it was a very, very unique sound, and that also showed when we were listening before to you doing the sound check. Tell us a little bit about that sound and how you came up with such a unique sound from the start.
I think it comes from just our influences. Like, I've had so many different variations of music tastes throughout the years. When it comes to, like, I had a hip hop phase. I had a phase where all I did was listen to straight hardcore, like Trapped Under Ice and stuff. Or when I grew up learning guitar, it was Metallica and Slayer and all that sort of stuff. And then, of course, the modern metalcore stuff like Polaris. So I feel like as we've gone on, like a lot of the influences that we like just go into that music, but it's such a combination of everything that's cultivated to what I do as a guitarist that it just turns out unique. Like, I love combining a hardcore riff, but then a genty riff, but then a poppy, simple punk chorus all together to make such a unique instrumental. And then when it comes to the vocals, I think I just sort of let my voice do what it does. I don't try to imitate anybody else, and I think that my voice comes across reasonably different to a lot of other vocalists. Not intentionally, I just somehow that's how I sound. And the same with Lachlan, his vocals, like his screams, just They have a unique tone to them that I don't think anyone can emulate. I think when you hear Lachlan, you know it's Lachlan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I always said that from the very start of this band as well. Like, the first time I really heard you guys, it's like, you both had very, very unique voices.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, if you were to be on the radio, I would know it's you.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I was quite drawn to the voices and how like different your parts are.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
I felt it was just like the perfect combination. Was that your setup from the set? Did you know you wanted that sound, or did it just kind of happen?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the sound has like changed over time in terms of synths and different chord progressions, and sort of going in. We're trying to obviously write choruses that are a little bit more catchy now. But in terms of just like basic vocal sound, we always knew we wanted to be one of those bands that had the dirty vocals and the clean vocals combined, and being able to do like call and response, and being able to do things like Amity have done very well and Polaris have done very well. And I think that was always in our intention, because that sort of music, that sort of metalcore, can be the most accessible for people, and we don't want to put ourselves in a corner. We want to make sure that almost anybody can listen to it, and if they don't like the screams, then they can hang around for the lame high-pitched singing from me, or if they want the heavier stuff, then they can wait for Lachlan's parts, and at least that way there's a little bit of something for everybody.
Yeah.
And putting yourselves out at, like, as musicians and artists, again, we spoke about it in the writing, you're putting that personal part of you out there. When it comes to the performing, how is that? And for anyone in the band who didn't come up with the concept, how do you find there's any kind of hurdles to leap to get them on the same page to understand the feeling? And does that teach you how to reach the audience? What's your experience?
Yeah, I find that because when we're in the studio or something like that, I still want Lachlan to resonate with the lyrics. And he is having a hand in doing more of the lyrics now, because he definitely wants to be a part of that too. But I find that talking to him about what the songs mean and trying to get him to emotionally resonate with them and put himself in those shoes has helped me be able to speak about it on interviews or to a crowd or to an audience, because it just allows me to articulate what the songs truly mean. But yeah, it does come with some growing pains, but I find that everybody still has a say and will tell me if like they don't feel like it fits Alienist. So if they ever had an issue with a song, or if they didn't agree with it, then that would still be a huge conversation for us. But thankfully the boys are very supportive and very happy with how it goes, so yeah.
Definitely. Well, we don't want to keep you guys for too much longer, because we know you've got a very big night, but apart from freezing in Melbourne at the moment, how are you feeling about going out there and doing this headline tour?
It's huge for us. We have done one headline tour before, but it was a collab headline tour. This is our first time we've ever done our own headline tour, and obviously under the name of a label. There's a lot of pressure behind it, because I know that being part of the family of UNFD and being involved with the bands such as Void of Vision and Thornhill and stuff like that, there's certainly a level of expectation there. So our biggest priority is making sure that we reach or exceed that expectation, and just make sure that everybody has a good night.
Yep.
So to anybody out there who's thinking about heading along and seeing one of your shows on this tour, what would you like to say to everybody out there?
Come out, support your locals.
Yep.
Trust me, you don't want to miss the live show. I know that you like our music in the studio, but when it's performed live, it has an entirely new energy. So come down and have a mosh and have some fun, and then come meet us. We'll hang out. Just be part of the family and the friends. Let's do it.
Well, Damon, Chris, thank you so much for taking the time, especially we know it's a busy night tonight for you, but thank you so much
No worries at all. Thank
for
you.
coming on After Dark. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure meeting you.